Woody Wommack joined by National Recruiting Director Mike Farrell. Mike, a huge day for Penn State recruiting. What's been part of a huge week. 3 commitments today for this week. Let's start with the biggest one of them all, at least from today's perspective. Zakee Wheatley, big-time safety out of Maryland. Rivals 250 guy. He makes the call for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, he can play wide receiver too. I mean, he's a very fluid athlete. He's 6'2", about 180 pounds. You know, big enough kid to grow into an undersized linebacker as well, but just makes plays all over the field. Extremely good ball skills. You know, I've seen him on film line up at corner, and he doesn't do bad there either. But he's a natural safety, I think, at the next level. But again, his wide receiver skills are solid. Just not a burner on the offensive side of the ball, so that's why I think he's going to be a better fit on defense. But he'll come up and tackle. He causes turnovers, and you know, a really good athletic kid to have on your program because you can move him around a lot of different places.
Yeah, I think he actually worked out a wide receiver at our camp, so that shows you. I mean, he thought maybe he had the potential to be playing that position at the next level.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this is the thing also about camps is like a lot of kids want to work out at wide receiver because it's more fun. You catch the ball, you do the little celebrations, and it's so much easier to win reps at one-on-ones. But, you know, the dogs work out at corner and safety. And, you know, I think that's what this kid's going to be. He's going to be a corner or safety. It's probably just more fun working out at wide out. But on his team, he plays a lot of different positions. So the versatility is there. And it's kind of weird to see so many commitments in this short period of time. Usually you see this after a visit weekend. But now with everything locked down, I think this is, you know, could be a little bit orchestrated and give Penn State a little bit of a boost as we head into April.
All right, the other 2 commitments they picked up today, twin brothers out of Detroit, Kalen and Kobe King. Let's talk about Kalen first. He's the higher-rated guy, a 4-star at cornerback. How big is this in this? And once again, the pipeline to Detroit really paying dividends for Penn State.
Yeah, they're going into Michigan. I mean, Michigan this year is loaded for Michigan standards. I mean, usually it's not as deep a state as Ohio or Pennsylvania, but this year it's loaded in Michigan. So for you know, James Franklin and his defensive coordinators and D-backs coaches, you know, Terry Smith, who used to be at Gateway forever, old friend, and Tim Banks, who has connections to Michigan, played at Central Michigan back in the day, to go in there and get guys like this, a very fluid corner. You know, he's not the tallest kid in the world, but he's not short. He's right around that 5'11" sweet spot. He's thin, you know, he's got to work on getting stronger, but he breaks on the ball well. He's athletic, and he's a very fluid kid. You know, and then Kobe is the linebacker. He's the bigger, more physical of the brothers. You know, not as quick twitch, not quite as athletic as Kalen, but a kid that's sort of a developmental project type who could turn into an excellent middle linebacker. And, you know, obviously you take one, you're going to take the other in this situation. These guys aren't going to go to different schools. And to get 2 valued recruits out of the state of Michigan, and of course, Jalen Reed we'll talk about in a second too, out of Michigan. I think this kind of hurts the University of Michigan and Jim Harbaugh a bit.
Yeah, well, let's transition to Jalen Reed, another Rivals 250 guy. I saw somebody posting on one of the sites that it seems like James Franklin takes who he wants from Michigan now, which
oh yeah, Michigan fans will love that.
I didn't say it.
The mentions between Michigan and Penn State in my timeline on Twitter are always, you know, Harbaugh can never finish higher than 3rd in his own division, but Penn State hasn't won anything in 100 years, but then it's back to Michigan hasn't won anything in 100 years. And, you know, Penn State can boast about winning the Big Ten championship a few years ago, but then they got screwed a bit when Ohio State was, you know, sent to the playoff. And it's an interesting recruiting battle because it's not Ohio State, Michigan, you know, and it's not even Michigan State, Michigan, but it's an underrated recruiting battle. Jalen Reed is not a huge safety. He's you know, don't want to say undersized, but he's 6 foot. You know, he's about 180 pounds and, you know, not one of those huge 6'3" rangy kids, but man, does he cover a lot of space, and he's an excellent hitter. And, you know, the defensive backfield, when you're talking about, you know, Wheatley at safety and Jalen Reed at safety, and then Kalen King at corner, you know, they're putting together quite a good defensive backfield. And you got to really respect the coaching job and recruiting job with Terry Smith and Tim Banks here. I don't think they can go into Michigan and get anybody they want. There's still a lot of higher ranked players still available in the state of Michigan. But if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm a little bit worried, you know. Last year, Justin Rogers left the state. You know, there's some guys in the 2021 class that are highly ranked that are interested in Michigan, but maybe Michigan doesn't lead. So this is a big recruiting year for Harbaugh, I think, because there's so much talent in state. If he lets a lot of it go, there's going to be a lot of critics.
Yeah, and from these are big time high schools that are going to be producing MLK and Cass Tech. I mean, these are usually the kids are going to go to Michigan or Michigan State first and foremost. So,
yeah, I think Tim Banks really has a lot to do with this. You know, again, Michigan background and ties. You know, but even then, it doesn't matter if you've got the background and ties. It's hard to beat Michigan for Cass Tech kids, and it's hard to beat Michigan or Michigan State for any in-state kids. So for Penn State to do this, other kids from these programs are going to be interested more so in Penn State than they were before. So it's very big. You know, there's certain areas you have to own your home state, and Michigan is still on the bubble there this year if they're going to do that. And you have to have a couple other states that you own. You know, Penn State, really good in Maryland. And now Michigan could be sort of that second Midwest state that they do very well in.
All right. So the Penn State continues to roll. Huge week for them as they build their entire defensive secondary. Check out our Penn State site, Blue and White Illustrated, for all your Nittany Lion news. Thanks, Mike.
All right.